Fair enough. Sir, in that role, in those 50 days that you have left, obviously this weekend we saw Syrian rebels launch an offensive in the city of Aleppo, key strategic city, and this is the first time that they've taken control of it since it fell to government forces almost a decade ago now. Were you surprised was the U.S. government surprised by how swiftly these rebels took over?
Let me tell you one thing we weren't surprised by. We were not surprised that these rebels would try to take advantage of a new situation in which the Syrian government's main backers, Iran, Russia, and Hezbollah, were all distracted and weakened by conflicts and events elsewhere. So the Syrian rebels took a look at that. They took a look at three actors who had been pummeling them for years: Iran, Russia, Hezbollah. They had seen them weaker and more exposed than before, and they tried to take advantage of it. Now, the speed of this offensive, I think, very much surprised the Syrian government and other observers in the region. But the fact that we've seen activity in Syria coming off of all the other things we've seen in the Middle East and Ukraine and elsewhere, that is something that is the natural result of those adversaries ending up in a weaker strategic position.
What does it mean for U.S. forces in the region, for U.S. assets? Is there a greater risk?
At the moment, we believe that our forces who are stationed in Syria to fight ISIS are not at proximate risk because they are in a different part of the country from where this particular offensive is taking place. But they are under a different kind of threat. They are still under a threat from Iran and the Shia-backed militia groups in Iraq and Syria. And every single day we work to ensure that they are protected and that we respond to attacks against them as we have just done in the last week.
So do you think what the rebels have done here in Aleppo advances U.S. strategic interests at this point?
Well, this is a very good question, Casey. It's a complicated question because the group at the vanguard of this rebel advance, HTS, is actually a terrorist organization designated by the United States. So we have real concerns about the designs and objectives of that organization. At the same time, of course, we don't cry over the fact that the Assad government, backed by Russia, Iran, and Hezbollah, are facing certain kinds of pressure. So it's a complicated situation. It's one we're monitoring closely, and we're staying in close touch with regional partners about it.